actually had people sometimes ask, well, what do you think of Portland? It's like, they're good. Do you want us to say something bad about their Tifo game? It's like, we're not. It's like, that's really good, and hopefully we'll get to that point too when we have, we don't have a permanent space yet. We're still kind of squatting with whoever's got a warehouse they're willing to let us in. We just moved into a new space, and we can only do things like that because we have 4 solid supporter groups that are pooling resources, not just manpower, but money to fund all that. That's not free. We don't get it handed to us. You wouldn't believe how much fabric costs when you're trying to cover an entire section. And we have only 2 seamstresses who actually sew all the Tifos you see. There are 2 people who sew everything. But from the chalking work to the line work to all the painting to making sure we get enough covers on it, it takes a lot of people. And even still, all of them have been done in a week because people are working nonstop at them. If we had just, it's just one little group, that's not going to happen. If there were no supporter groups, who's going to organize that to put it on? It's hard, but I love it.
This one was painted in, 3 days?
3 days. Not even just painted. It was sewed, chalked, and painted. They started Monday night, they laid it out, and they stitched it all together, and then they moved on to chalking and then painting, and then done by Wednesday. That was unbelievable.
Remarkable. Yeah, indeed.
Very impressed. We have a great Tifo team that comprises of members of all 4 official supporter groups who get together to plan the ideas. They actually take in ideas from people, not just people in the supporter group. So if there's someone out there who's got an idea that they would love to see for a Tifo, you can reach out to any of the 4 supporter groups and let them know, and they'll make sure it gets submitted to the Tifo committee so that they can take a look at it. We're already looking at what we're going to do for May 20th and on. We'll just see. That's going to be a rough run of games. It was already a crowded schedule with the 2 August games being put in there. The question on everyone's mind was when? When are we going to put them on there? And, some of our best guys, they're going to get international Call of Duty, so they'll be busy that last week of August into early September and then again in October.
Our depth will really be tested, although we have really good depth, but it's a matter of, at that end of the season, a lot of fatigue sets in.
Yep, those legs will have put a lot of miles on them, and I think that was something interesting when the Mercedes-Benz Stadium delay got announced. Is people weren't so much, a lot of people weren't upset that we weren't getting into the stadium with our plush, posh stadium with our prawn sandwiches waiting for us, but that we were thinking, well, what about our guys? What's their health going to be like? What are we looking at for possible injuries if they're playing nonstop for 7-8 weeks in a row, multiple games in a week? Yes, teams do that, but most teams don't like to do that. So
they usually suffer because of it.
Yes, and I think we're young enough where I think compared to other teams, we'll have an advantage if it does come down to that.